NATO's relations with Central Asia and Russia's influence. Since the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the emergence of newly independent states in Central Asia, NATO has gradually expanded its relations with the region. This has been driven by NATO's desire to promote stability and security in the region, as well as to counter the threat of terrorism and other security challenges. However, NATO's relations with Central Asia have also been influenced by the competing interests of Russia, which seeks to maintain its sphere of influence in the region. NATO's engagement with Central Asia has primarily been through its Partnership for Peace (PFP) program, which aims to encourage cooperation and dialogue between NATO and partner countries. Several Central Asian countries, including Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan, have participated in the PFP, leading to increased military cooperation and joint exercises with NATO member states. Additionally, NATO has provided support for the development of democratic institutions and the rule of law in the region. However, NATO's engagement with Central Asia has also been limited by the region's complex political and security environment. Many Central Asian states have authoritarian regimes and poor human rights records, which has led to criticism from some members of the international community. Additionally, the region has become a battleground for great power competition, as Russia and China seek to assert their influence and limit NATO's presence. Russia has been particularly active in attempting to undermine NATO's relations with Central Asia. Moscow views the region as its traditional sphere of influence and fears that NATO's presence could destabilize the region and threaten its security. Russia has used a variety of methods to limit NATO's engagement with the region, including offering military assistance to Central Asian states, promoting the Eurasian Economic Union as an alternative to NATO, and criticizing NATO's involvement in Afghanistan. One of the most significant examples of Russia's influence in Central Asia has been its use of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, CSTO, to counter NATO's presence. The CSTO is a regional security bloc that includes Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. While the CSTO was initially formed as a response to the perceived security threats from the West, particularly NATO, it has increasingly become a vehicle for Russia to project power in the region. Russia has used the CSTO to protect its interests in Central Asia, including providing military assistance to member states and conducting joint military exercises. Additionally, Russia has sought to limit NATO's engagement with the region by using the CSTO to pressure Central Asian states to limit their cooperation with NATO. For example, in 2015, the CSTO conducted a joint military exercise with its member states and China, specifically aimed at countering the threat of NATO. Despite Russia's efforts to limit NATO's engagement with Central Asia, NATO has continued to pursue its partnership with the region. In 2019, NATO and the Central Asian states signed a joint declaration to deepen their cooperation in areas such as counterterrorism, border security, and defense reform. Additionally, NATO has provided support for the Central Asian states to improve their capabilities in areas such as cyber defense and countering improvised explosive devices, IEDs. However, NATO's engagement with Central Asia remains complex and challenging. The region's authoritarian regimes and limited civil society pose a significant obstacle to NATO's efforts to promote democratic values and the rule of law. Additionally, Russia's continued efforts to assert its influence in the region and limit NATO's presence will create further challenges for NATO. In conclusion, NATO's relations with Central Asia are shaped by a complex interplay of factors, including the desire to promote stability and security in the region's complex political environment, and Russia's efforts to maintain its sphere of influence. While NATO has made progress in deepening its partnership with Central Asian states, further work is needed to address the region's democratic deficits and to counter the threat of Russian influence. Overall, NATO's engagement with Central Asia will remain an important aspect of the alliance's efforts to promote security and stability in Eurasia.